hit music. Turn on Q. Turn on summer vibes.
Alrighty, ATL, please give it up and help me welcome to the stage Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum hit music artist and actor, MGK. Welcome.
Yo.
Welcome.
Hello. What's up, ATL? Peace up.
Listen, I love this. This is a full circle moment. I was just chatting with MGK backstage, telling him that in about 2010, when I was 18 and trying to print out my little flyers to get to the club early for free, DJ Mommy Chula, our very own DJ Mommy Chula, was hosting an event at Opera Nightclub, and she brought out Travis Porter for a mixtape party, and they brought out a special guest with them, and that was you. So this is so cool to have you back here. You've had a history with Atlanta, so we're excited to celebrate you today.
Big time. Yeah, that was those trips were some of the funnest trips. I was in my manager's Nissan Altima. It was, how many seats are in there? 5 seats. So it was 6 of us and 5. Yeah, and we would just be squished in there, and it was a 12-hour drive from Cleveland down to ATL, and the whole time we would just be like, I remember one time we made the drive just to get on Travis Porter's Ustream. This is like essentially what Instagram Live was back in the day, but
Yes.
and like the view count, it was probably like 300 viewers, maybe like 100 viewers, but we drove 12 hours just so I could freestyle in front of 100 viewers.
Yes.
And I felt like we left that and I was like, oh my God, bro, like we're lit. Like
Yes.
100 people just saw us go crazy on a freestyle. Like that was the dream chasing back then was really special. So the Opera Nightclub night, I remembered that very well. Like when you brought that up, I was like, whoa, that was, again, like another moment when it was just a nightclub. But to me, it was like we did
Big.
Madison Square Garden or something.
Yes. Okay, let's talk MGK Day in Cleveland. Nobody refs Cleveland like you do. We knew that even when you were coming to visit Atlanta back in the day. 5 days of events celebrating community. You guys had a massive city bike ride, a block party. You brought your boys out, Travis Barker, Jelly Roll, T Grizzly to perform.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot that.
Yes. Was that the trip that you said Travis landed on the plane and drove 3 hours to come?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like all of them did. T Grizzly bought his own plane ticket to come.
I love that. I love that.
That was, yeah.
What does it mean for them to show
Same
up
with
for
Jelly.
you in your city, you know, to come out for you and show all the people? Because there's so many kids that love you as well. We could see it in the videos, even when you were posted up on Lee Road, Lee Street with Gillian Wallow.
Yep.
And you're like, I was selling my mixtapes on this street. So
that was 131st. That was actually where I brought Gillian Wallow where we did that freestyle. That was the first place I shot my first music video.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Dairy Mart.
What does it mean to come back in and be able to bring out your peers too, to do it big and show the city? Give them hope to show them that I was right there where you are too.
It's kind of like why I started buying jewelry, right? Like just kind of like realizing that inspiration comes from places that maybe I don't even think of. So, you know, when I go back and I think about when you would see people come through and in person you see them with a chain, you're like, oh my God, like that. Like it gives them something, you know, it gives you something to want to work for and work toward. But probably the biggest honor I could have had was being able to reach out and to my friends who are also big artists and ask that favor. And like when they came through, and honestly, just all of them having the story of like, I'll pay for my own jet to come. I'll drive. I'm Travis Barker and I'm on tour, but I'll leave and drive 3 hours to come there. And T Grizzly just bought his own plane ticket. Like all of that, I guess, is really a testament to like, one, just all of our natural friendships outside of music, but two, they really, for them, I mean, none of them are from Cleveland. So like and then for all of them to hit me after they got off stage and were like, I'm never missing MGK Day. I was like, This is so rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fire. I love that. Okay, so I want to get into, we know, we've seen the evolution of you, you know, kind of growing up in front of us, being such a multifaceted musician, playing the guitar, singing, rapping, writing, playing on our top 40 stations, rock, you've got country fans. And I saw a recent video of you doing like an acoustic cover on your YouTube where you're cooking up on the MPC. I'm like, this boy can do everything.
Yeah.
So can you just talk about, you know, growing up in front of the public, surviving and adapting to these different eras where technology has changed so many things?
Well, I did terribly. growing up in front of the public, but continue.
And just like talk to us about your ability to cross blend these genres and, being a person that can't be boxed in with no limits as far as the sound of your music. And it's obviously not done. We're going to see you continue to evolve as time goes on.
I was sitting there last night and I was kind of like, man, I wonder if I regret any of these, bold choices that I've made. I mean, I obviously, like, as does anybody growing up, like you regret things you said or like, ways that you were or whatever. But I was sitting there and I was like, some of the choices I've made were bold, whether it's fashion or whether it's musically or whether it's insert something. That's what she said.
I'm done. I'm done.
I just, that I played around with the idea in my mind, like, what if I would have did this differently, or what if I would have been more like easy to understand? And I know the things that I've done artistically that make people be like, and specifically a group of people like, I would say middle America, right? Where like people are really uncomfortable seeing someone look the way I look, like dress the way I dress, or, be flamboyant in my, whether it's nails or my hair. And I'm a Midwest kid, so I know what it is to just like just do the normal, but something hit me last night where I was like, nah, like this will all make sense. Like, I don't really know when, because it doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but I don't know if necessarily like a bird knows where it's flying all the time. I think it just flies and it ends up at its destination. Like the great wind carries it where it's supposed to go. So,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I hope that, in coming years, people will look and start to be like, this was really entertaining. Because I guess I'm an entertainer, so all of the stages and phases and things that I do, like, if anything, it was fun to watch. And it was fun to give an opinion on, oh, I hate this, oh, I love this. So, parts of me, because I am so normal, so much of me was like, man, why didn't I just slip through the cracks and just be normal as I possibly could and whatever. But the other part of me is like, man, I grew up alone and I loved fantasy. I loved sci-fi. I loved like world building. And so I was like, I just wanted to, Halloween was every day to me. I was always playing characters. So the other part of me is like, man, the natural expression that I like had towards all these things. It was who I am. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
I love that. Okay. So you brought back for the fifth year anniversary, a new edition of Hotel Diablo, the Floor 13 edition.
Yeah.
First of all, I got to say, El Pistolero is one of my faves because I love to hear you pop in the Spanish lingo.
Orale.
Just love that. Okay. What was it about this album that you wanted to bring back? And what deluxe features did you kind of add this time? Was it because the pandemic followed shortly after? Was it because you felt like they didn't hear me the first time? Or was there new things that you wanted to just kind of recreate?
It was a fan favorite album, and it's my favorite album. And yeah, I mean, also I think, finding places for reminders of how great I am at rapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
can fit in with everything going on. And so, with Lonely Road being out, I have to respect that trajectory and kind of figure out ways to still just insert my love of hip hop. So I think Hotel Diablo Deluxe, it's 5 years. 5 is a exciting number for anniversaries. So I figured I'd do something special like that. And then, yeah, I mean, I crafted El Pistolero as something where I knew my fans loved to hear me rap fast. It's something that I loved to do because I realized very few people can do it. And I mean, dude, I love to pop my Spanish shit.
Okay. I love it.
And El Pistolero is a nickname that my homie calls me. So it was
Right. Kind of like a translation for your name in Spanish.
yeah,
Low-key.
yeah, sí.
I love it. Okay, but you got to give us a little bit of the backstory. I saw on your page, I was like, Don Omar brought you out to do Danza Kuduro. And I'm like, oh, now I'm singing the hook in Spanish. This is amazing. What was the story behind that? You guys were, or where were you guys in, when did you learn that?
We were in Madrid, and we were doing a festival, and I was like, it'd be great to just connect to everybody today. I don't know how we should do it. And I was like, maybe I should sing in Spanish. And Fast and Furious, like every time Danza Kuduro plays, you know, and like the camera zooms out, and like they're all like, this is family. And like, you know, that Fast and Furious scene where it just stood out in my heart. I couldn't get rid of that thought. And I was like, oh man, that would be a great song to do. And I love the video of me performing it for the first time, because I'm just cheesing so hard the whole time. Like, man, I can't believe this is working. And I also was like, my Spanish accent is on point right now. And I don't know what, I grew up watching Mexican mafia movies. And like I said, like TV and music were my best friends. So I was always playing characters, whether it could be from Gandalf to, you know, somebody from Blood In, Blood Out. Like, but like if I wanted to be it, I would take it on. And so, man, when I watched like American Me, and I saw the Cholos talking, and I saw that whole community, I was like, there was a solid like week where I was like, I'm gonna be a Cholo.
I'm dead.
And maybe it's because I was in like 5th grade or something, and you're like young enough to retain those things. And so I apparently retained my Spanish accent really well from back then. Because in Spain was the first time that I like brought it back to the surface. And when I did it, my homie Ray, who's Puerto Rican, he was just like, yo, that's crazy good, yo. Like, and yeah, so I don't know. I think, and then Don Omar saw that video, and then he reached out to me to perform at the awards. And I don't know, I'm just really, really grateful that my peers are reaching out and inviting me to do stuff. I'm really happy. I've been doing it, you know, on my own with my boys for so long. I'm like, how many different things can we invent to do by ourselves? Like, I'm happy we're getting invited to different things now.
Super dope. Okay, so we have seen your daughter grow up in front of us. She's 15 now, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to ask you just a little bit about how you are balancing fatherhood and your career. You take her everywhere with you. You've been super transparent in your music and in your lyrics about your upbringing with your dad, his tragic backstory with his father. So what are some of the things that you want, her to experience and share with you that were maybe different from what you had experienced yourself?
She's very much like a wise tree. So she's kind of, you know, the generational curse was definitely ended with me. I'm still on that course of mastering and completely breaking those chains. But I could see already, even without me having had broke it completely, I saw that God spared her. So she's free, and she's growing in her own garden. And I take a lot from her. She's like full of knowledge, and honestly full of so much like pure charisma that it's something that I could learn a lot from. I don't take her everywhere with me anymore because she's too cool to mob anymore. So a lot of the time she's like, I just need me time. And you know, she's in school, which I kind of don't respect the school requirements of attendance. I'm like, but then I got a letter from the educational board. Like, we will take your child from you if you do not. So that would be a fight that they wouldn't want.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
The educational board would never hear the end from me. That would be the ultimate rap battle.
The biggest diss ever. I love.
I mean, I don't know. She's at a point now where life is teaching her, And I'm just trying to be as patient and supportive as possible with everything.